This is your studio, huh? In a way.
Kind of nice studio, huh?
If you travel 1.5 hours south from Oslo, you'll come to the coast, a place of rocky islands and shallow waters, a veritable paradise for nature lovers and especially bird watchers. I've come here to join my friend Axel and to see how he creates his beautiful watercolors, painted directly from nature, out in the field.
This is southern Asmaløy. The area here is called Viker, and this is unique for a lot of different plants and therefore also a lot of the different insects and of course birds. It helps you with, oh look at that, the butterfly there.
Yeah.
It's called svaleskjett in Norwegian, swallowtail, because it has long nice tails on the wings.
Do you ever paint butterflies?
I did before. When I was a kid, I painted a lot of butterflies, and I also collected butterflies and looked at them in the microscope to see the details and try to paint them as good as possible.
Is this a location you come to a lot? Is this your sort of go-to place for?
Yeah, this is a place where I have been walking since I was 4 years old out here, because my grandparents had a place here, and then later my parents moved here. So this is a place that means a lot to me. This is my telescope that I use for painting, because you don't want to go too close to the birds to disturb them. So therefore I have the telescope.
Of course. Which came first, Axel, the birds or the painting?
I think they arrived at the same time, because, you know, all children are interested in painting and nature and birds and everything, and then, you know, the interest disappears. But for me, it never did.
But is it right? You've never been to art school. Have you ever had training?
No,
painting in watercoloring.
My school was painting birds, because I remember I was out and I saw some really beautiful things, and I remember I wanted to take them home. But the birds fly away, you know, you can't take them home. So the solution was to paint the birds, and in that way take them with me. And painting birds is kind of a simple task, because in the beginning, when I was only painting the bird, you know, I knew exactly how it was supposed to look. So I just sat and I painted and tried to make it look exactly as it is. And that way I got a very good training in the technique of watercolor. And once I became better and better at painting, I could start to play around with it more and make more paintings. So that was, painting birds was my art school.
What is it particularly you respond to about birds?
There are many things, but one thing is that the birds are beautiful, but they are also here all year round. And since they can fly, they are everywhere. So everywhere you are, no matter where on earth you are, no matter what time, you will always be able to see a bird. And they have adapted to deserts, oceans, Arctic, rainforests, cities. They are everywhere. But for me, it's also about a very personal thing. You know, I've been walking in this landscape since I was 3-4 years old, and I've been seeing these birds, and for me they are such a big part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I was out here, whenever I had the time, I went out here to watch the birds. So when I'm painting birds, I am also painting, you know, my own little story. I'm showing you my own little world. So it's also a very personal thing.
I love that. So what have we got out there today?
Now we have some common gulls and common terns, actually, that are incubating, and we have some newt swans and some grey-lag geese, and also some warblers that are singing here. So I thought maybe I could try to paint one of these little...
Gosh, would you?
So that you can see
Well,
what I'm seeing.
I'd be very excited to see that. They're fantastic. Now you're looking at one particular bird which is just very conveniently not moving for you. Is that what's happening?
It's almost like I become too lazy because this bird is sleeping. It's
Sleeping.
incubating its eggs, and it's sitting and just enjoying the heat from the sun. And
What about when it's birds in flight? Because you paint a lot of birds when they're flying, and that's, you know, obviously they're not staying still for you.
no, then I use photographs as well to get it right.
Okay.
So when I'm outside painting, I often have my camera with me because the camera is also like a digital sketchbook. You know,
Yes.
you can't do everything, but I have also been sitting and trying to paint birds in flight like I see them, and I think that's a very important part of the process because then you understand how they move, and then you can interpret the photographs later to make the painting more alive.
So is the way the process is that you come here, you do a pencil sketch, then you add colour, and then would you then go back to the studio and work on it more, or
No.
Or no? So the work is done here in the field and it's finished in the field.
Yes, you never know what happens here, and that's the exciting part. Sometimes, you know, I look at it afterwards and I say, oh, this is a nice painting, and then I can have it on an exhibition. So now I will just put in make a little study of light here, more or less how the light falls on her head.
Yeah, I noticed with a lot of your field work that the little sort of tests you make with the colours are part of the finished image, and I love that. The little, you know, you show the details of the working.
I think it's
beautiful blue.
It's nice when you see evidence that there has been people there.
Yeah.
And today, with AI and everything that becomes so perfect, you know, there's no sign of people.
Mm-hmm.
And before I used to test the colors on a different paper, but then I realized that, you know, it's the same colors. It will always fit with the rest of the image. So I thought it was interesting to just leave it there because it's part of the process. It's part of the experience.
I think it adds a lot, really. I think I read somewhere that when it's cold enough, your watercolors actually freeze.
That's true. I've been to northern Norway too.
Which must be a bit of a problem. There must be an interesting effect.
It's a challenge that was unexpected. So that's the interesting part about being outside, that you lose some of the control of what you're doing.
Yeah. And rain landing on the paper.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, if you get a little bit, you get these nice small white spots.
Yeah.
Other times there is so much rain that the painting is just
just washed away.
And you run home, you hope for the best.
There's a great purity about Axel's watercolors. Just a brush, paper, paint and water. And of course, an expert eye for the landscape in front of him.
I can't tell you what a privilege this is to sit out here with you watching you do this. It's a real treat. Have you been to Antarctica?
No, that's actually one of my dreams, to go to Antarctica, because there is something about the clean landscape, the sky and the ocean and the snow, but also the birds there that manage to survive in such a strange climate, a harsh climate. There is snowing the 1 minute and the next minute it's sun. Mm-hmm. And the people in northern Norway, they don't call it a weather report, they call it a weather suggestion. Because there's no use in trusting the weather report. And still these birds manage to live there.
Yeah.
We headed to a nearby art centre where Axel's work was on show, an opportunity for me to see more of his paintings close up, and for him to explain some of the motivations behind them.
Oh, this is gorgeous. See, it's sold, otherwise I'd buy it. It's just beautiful. Tell me about it.
This one there is a place here where they used to cut granite.
Yeah.
And when you stand there, you stand quite tall above high above the ocean. And in the winter, the waves are crashing against the cliffs. And then the gulls are hanging in the air, just waiting for something to be flushed up from the deep that they can eat. So when you stand there in the wind, they are just hanging around you. And you get this sort of, usually you see birds from far away, but now suddenly you're among them. It almost feels like I could dream that I was flying among them, in between them. And that is what led me to this picture of trying to get more a perspective. It's not a painting of a bird, because I didn't want it to be a painting of a bird. That's why I have no eyes in the painting. Because once you meet the eye, there is a contact. And that's not, this is...
Really interesting you do that, okay.
This is a painting of wind and weather.
Yeah.
But you need something to carry the wind in the painting, and that is the gulls.
And what I also like is the fact you know, the splodges of paint here and little sort of drips and things. I think that's wonderful. I love all that. I think it adds to it.
Thank you.
You see you feel the process.
What a fantastic day I'd had in Axel's company. And yes, I really would have bought a painting if they hadn't already all been sold. But I knew I could look forward to seeing some of his work on one of Viking's ocean ships. And as a photographer, I found myself feeling quite jealous, not only of Axel's talent with a brush and paint, but in this digital world in which we all live, how little materially he needed to work with to bring that talent to life.